You guys want to see something cool? Can you guys hear me relatively okay? Because I'm using the laptop's um, mic at this point, and I don't know if maybe I should run downstairs and go grab a different mic. What just happened? What did I press? I pressed something and I'm in reading mode. The fuck did I press? How do I get out of that? Don't know what I pressed to get out or into that. Hey, Big. Hey, Big, you missed it the other day. My voice is coming in clear. Okay, give me a second here. I got a mug, a different mug. I gotta go put this back in the sink. This is Capricorn, the goat. But this is a cup holder. It fits my mason jar perfectly. And the type of table I have notches all around, so I can stick it in these notches, so I can have my cup out of the way. One of the things that I am grabbing, I talked about grabbing a older Mac, and in particular, I realize you guys are shaking. You guys will have to deal with the screen shakes a little bit. Hey, Cody, how goes it? So now we can't hear you, says Baxter. First of all, how's the quality? Like this doesn't look too bad at night, and I'm guessing that this is probably similar to the camera that I have downstairs during night. Because I'm looking at this, there doesn't seem to be any big issues, which is really nice. But yeah, why'd I go live? Why am I here and everything? Kind of just wanted to go live. Had kind of a wonky day. But anyways, you guys know I'm trying to buy some old tech now. I keep telling myself it's because I want it, but I don't want to deal with AI. That's the reality, is I don't want to deal with AI, and I need stuff that I own in software that you own that works decently and good. Is getting harder and harder to find. I'm like, shit, when was the last time you really had some decent hardware software combo? And it's Apple. I fucking hate that. But it's like old school Apple. It's like G3, G4. And I was trying to get a G3 so I'd be able to be mobile once I had the battery on it fixed. And I'm like, well, I can't do that. Let's set this up, this laptop here in the kitchen, and do some lower end tasks on it, maybe do some streaming. And it's worked beautifully for everything. And I'm like, I really like this. I would love to have a semi-permanent thing on my table, but I don't want it to be this big, giant, bulky thing. Enter the G4. Does anyone remember what the G4 looks like? If not, I'm going to test out sharing a screen with you guys. And I managed to snag it for really, really cheap. I'm gonna show you one on eBay. N64 with expansion pack. I need the expansion pack. I have the N64. I just need the expansion pack. The beauties, gosh. Am I okay? It's just kiddo had a rough day, and things are hopefully going to go back to normal for them tomorrow. So the iMac G4 was, let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work because I have a dual screen setup, but it's using my my laptop, which it's being casted to. Not my laptop, my tablet for my laptop. So, oh, it works. works beautifully. Although I am not in the correct screen format. There we go. Go back over here. So this will do a lot of the things that you want to do with it. And there's this big giant community. And this is another reason why I decided to go with Apple. With Windows, the community's there, but it's kind of like fragmented. It can be really hard to like latch on to something that you could realistically use and software that would still work with the old stuff, as well as customware that is kind of like still functional. It's not as much as it is Macintosh. There are some really hardcore nerds out there who are keeping a bunch of the old Macintosh stuff alive. And people have gotten these things to work. Now, they've also done some really easy mods to these things. And one of the mods that they did is they gutted this, took off the monitor and put on a portable monitor and gutted it and put an M4 in there. I'm like, that's a super easy mod to do if I ever wanted something to, those abominations against computer kind, right? But I like this. Aesthetically, it's going to look good on my desk. And I got it not for this price. This price says it's like, after shipping, it's 150 for shipping. Most people were charging between 50 and 150 for shipping. I managed to get one of these that are working, though it is locked. And I'll tell you right now, that's not going to be a problem. It's just going to be a little wonky to get to do a workaround. So I got it for like $65, $30 in shipping. And so $100 roughly. And I'm like, shit, that'll do what I want it to do. Is it the laptop I wanted? No. Will it do what I want? Yes. And if I actually backdate, and this isn't the same one, but if I backdate it to the Mac OS version 10.4, like this one already is 10.4, you can actually put it to OS 9. And the reason why that's important, here's the reason why. You would effectively be able to get support from everything from like the early 1990s all the way to the mid 2005, 2008 range of software, which means Photoshop, which means all the editing software, and they will work on this computer. All the editing software, the word processing, all the games during that era, ERA. So this giant list of software where I went from having the availability of like, I'm going to basically be able to write with it to, holy shit, I can still use low-end internet shit. Like I could realistically Google things still. Probably won't Google things. But I can do a lot. And because it has a built-in DVD-R, CDR drive, I can transfer data if I really want to, relatively easy. It works with USB-C. It works with Fireport. I was like, shit, this hits a lot of the notches that I need this thing to hit and still have what I want to have. So I'm like $100 and a little bit of mental elbow grease, possibly real elbow grease, right? To clean it up, make it work the way I need it to work. And I can have it sit on my desk, and I can put this computer back in the bedroom for more in-depth stuff. And I have my tablet if I want to do other stuff. And yeah, I can just share files over the network as well. If I get a network card and I connect to my network, I can just share the files, although the speed would be horrendous versus just me sticking in a USB. And they can register USB drives up to 16 gigs, which for 90% of the stuff that I would do, 16 gigs would be more than enough. Is CapCut going to work on this? No. But I can get older editing software that would work on it. I can get Photoshop that would work on it. And it would be a Photoshop that is 100% compatible and able to do things. Now, it wouldn't do anything better than what 2005 Photoshop could do, but really, that's still a huge chunk of stuff. I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't think it can. And yeah, I do like old tech. I grew up with it. I learned on it. So that's another thing. Your left ankle itches and hurts. He's no king. He's too humble. No, fuck, I don't want to be a king. I don't want to be royalty at all. Being royalty sucks. That was a very odd headlight. But anything that I need, like for heavy hitting stuff, Levi late night, huh? Still at work right now. Thank you, Irving, for the donation, by the way. I just realized that this thing is up and working. By the way, if you want to donate and help the Killer's vet stuff, he has a vet appointment for the 17th. I had to get it after other stuff. I'm gonna get my crown, my crown and my tooth taken care of, as well as anything else with my teeth taken care of. And then I had to have it at a point where I knew we weren't going to be doing things. This also lets me make a phone call here tomorrow or the next day and ask them about the water heater and see what we're going to do about the water heater. And it will buy me time if I have to foot the cost of fixing the water heater for whatever reason. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to go over it right now. I cannot physically or mentally handle moving. And if I have to pay to have the water heater fixed, that's a $1,200 to $1,500 bill. But it's one that I'm prepared to do. It would just suck and it would hurt financially. It would be one of those things where there's enough money to kind of technically handle that, but not enough money to handle taking him to the vet and getting him the vet care he needs. So this right here all goes to him, and the money that I was going to spend on him, if it has to be, it can go be spent on the water heater. And if it doesn't have to be spent on the water heater, also, installing a water heater isn't hard. I've done it before, but that's not one thing I want to do. More awesome than Napa. Thank you. What's up, Jeremy? Not much. We're just hanging out today. We are kind of testing things out. I'm going to, I don't know how well doing this on the screen that I'm doing it on, which is I'm casting my screen to my tablet right now. And I don't know how well it would handle streaming and everything again. But I've told you guys before, I give myself a little bit of money every paycheck. If you don't do that, you have to. You really do. You have to buy stuff for yourself that isn't work related, that isn't going to have a reason to be used by everyone in the house. You have to buy stuff that is you and yours fully, right? And so mine is usually food or games. The computer I bought, I bought it because I wanted it, but it's going to be used for work. It's going to be used for the kids. It's going to be used for sitting down at the table, and I'm probably going to have some music on it, speakers and visualization, so that it will be a productive thing. It's going to be a productive item in the household. It's just a matter of like, I don't know how far I'm going to take the G4, and worst case scenario, if I hate where it's at, I'll get a 2020 iMac Mini or something like that and shove it in there and upgrade it and download all the offline software I need that isn't AI. And then I have to make sure. I don't think the AI was in things at around 2020, right? Like, I don't have to worry about that as long as I keep it a specific OS, right? Actually, yeah, I do. I have to say something before I tell you something, though. This is not financial advice. I cannot give you any legal or financial advice. You do not rely on influencers and stuff like that. I can only tell you my experience. I can only tell you as somebody who has had to file an LLC. The earlier you get it done and out of the way, the easier it is to maintain afterwards. My spouse filed their LLC for Cosmic Kitties, and now, it was when we had the money, and we did it during tax season. The reason we did it during tax season is every year you have to pay fees for that, and so now every year when tax season comes around, we're like, oh, how much do we owe? $50, $50, $60, $60. Oh, we need to renew the website domain thing. Let's just get it for the next 2 to 3 years, so we don't have to worry about it for the next couple of years. That's kind of what we do. But again, not financial advice. Josh, what you doing? I'm just hanging out. I can't. It's been a day. What are you doing, man? Do you want to hang out for a bit? I don't know. That might be a little bit depressing, though. Put money aside for Magic the Gathering cards. See, that's another one, but I can't get it back into that game. I don't have anyone to play with, and I would have to buy cards for like multiple people in the house. I feel like that would be. Oh, Josh, are you still, if you're still here, do you have Magic the Gathering cards? Hold on, dude. Do you have Magic the Gathering cards? He would be a perfect one for the skit idea I have. He would be perfect for an idea I have for Magic the Gathering, and he could definitely expand on it because he also has other people. Whoa, what happened? My internet just bonked on me. Damn. Hey DJ, how goes it? I think I already said hi to you. But yeah, Magic the Gathering is way too pay to win. Yeah. How much more do you need for that? So for the minimum that it's gonna kind of cost is we got $65 for the initial checkup, but I'm gonna be getting all his shots, and more likely he's going to get a bunch of them. So that's gonna wind up being about $200 to $250. If he has to have surgery on his teeth, that jumps all the way up to $600 to $1,000. On average, we're looking at they can do all the teeth at once. If he needed to have all of them removed at once, it'd be about $1,200. Well, at once with quotation marks around it, because if it's not all at once, it's only an extra like $100 to $200 afterwards. So total, it would be somewhere along the lines of $1,500, $1,300 to $1,500, if it's the worst case scenario. I don't know yet, so I'm just asking people. I was like, hey, you want to put a little, if you want to support me like you normally do, the cat donations, stuff like that, just send it here. I'm not telling you a specific amount because I don't have one. Okay, good. Josh. Okay, sorry, I got distracted here. Magic the Gathering, there's a joke with D&D, Magic the Gathering, all that stuff. Get your kids hooked on that so they don't get hooked on crack. But let's be honest, that stuff is like crack. You're opening packs like it is. My state tax is over a year late. They sent it like, oh God, you gotta go take care of that. they will yell at you. They'll do more than yell at you. They'll just tax it from you. What I can see here is somebody like for your type of skits, the kind that you do. So Josh, if you guys don't know, has this very kids show animation stuff type of thing. No, they owe you money. Oh, that's even better. Go claim that money. Get your money. But Josh is really cool. The way he does his stuff, I really like it. So you would have that goofy entrance of like, Magic the Gathering, first getting into it. I wonder what this game is like. And then like it slowly devolves and transitions in. And I can see like his sister, because he does his stuff with his sister, comes in, and I was like, are you okay where you are? And then like I can just see Josh on his bed. Yes, my precious. Mine. Or something along those lines of like it just evolving massively with Magic the Gathering stuff. You dare not have my land, it's my land. That kind of thing. And he would do so well with that kind of sketch. I can't film stuff with my bed and stuff like that because my spouse is night shift. Very rarely do I have an ability to film in there. So it's not something I can realistically film at the moment. Yeah, who can afford drugs when you have that? There's been some other like you can take it even more to the extreme, where they're shredding in a paper shredder the stuff, and then it gets more fine and starts taking a credit card and just goes. What are you doing? It's just Magic the Gathering cards that have been cut up. Oh, I'm so horrible. If you guys ever wondered my comedy style, I kind of diverge sometimes. Card games get expensive very quickly because of the niche. Yeah, it's gotten so expensive. Oh, that's awesome. Great minds think alike. I'm not calling myself a great mind. Demented minds think alike. I don't want to call you demented though. That feels like an innocent. Evening, Lavender. How you doing? Should know by now to have my design idea notebook with you when I watch these streams. Sorry. I can't wait for that to come out though. When Chris becomes full time, he has a lot of different plans. He wants to do podcasts. He wants to go live a lot more often. I'm like, part of me is the going live a lot. I have seen help and hurt this account, and as long as we're posting enough regular content, it doesn't work. Or it doesn't interfere with what we do. But I noticed recently when we slow down and post, but there's a bunch of lives, the next video that gets posted kind of doesn't get as much traffic as it could have. So it is something to be leery or worry about and leery about. Yeah, we're all a little demented in this day and age. Shit, with everything else going on right now. Josh, do you do political comedy? I think I saw you do something a long time ago. I don't think you've touched political comedy in a while though. And see that right there, that per month cost. One of the reasons why I would be getting the old tech or like upgrading the old tech to only a certain point is because of this cost too. Like you could buy old Photoshop up to a certain point. You can get versions of things up to a certain point that would do most of what you would need for most of editing and video stuff, at least to get the video to a certain point. And then afterwards, you can take it into like something like DaVinci Resolve and finish whatever you need from there, right? And so I'm like, God, I hate that. I don't want to keep having to be like, okay, I need an even more powerful PC. I need a more powerful. No, let's dial it back. What can I do with the PC that is older, but I own the software outright? What can I do with this software that's older? Go get the video to that point, and then take that and then put it into the more powerful PC to go from there. You stay away from it. I poke fun at how stupid politics are in videos, but never have politics as the main topic. Yeah, no, neither do we. We have seen I have seen accounts that are phenomenal. These people are super funny, and they'll go from posting sketches, live streams, to political commentary, and they'll talk about it or say something. They'll be out about it because they feel the need with their platform to speak out about it. And they wonder why their views drop dramatically. And the more often they do that, they can't get their views to be back up. And it's like, you can't, it's sad, but in today's day and age, you kind of have to pick a lane. Either you have the political comedy as a whole, but don't do commentary, or you do political commentary. You can do a political comedy and still have things function and work. But the moment you start just doing regular commentary, the algorithms kind of screw and go, well, are you somebody that talks about politics? Or are you somebody that makes fun of politics? Are you a comedy channel? Or are you something else? Man, you're younger than me, Josh, aren't you? Like you're in your, I think, mid to late 20s, right? Are you in your 30s? There's no way you're in your 30s. There's no way. There's no way. Let's not do that. Not do that. Do not do that. Never do that, no matter who stream you're in. DJ, I know you. I know you're just trying to have fun and everything. Don't do that. You can ask. That's telling. There's a difference between the two. No one do that. That's just stream etiquette in general. Don't do that. Shit. Damn. Wish I had your hairline. I think. Man, you make some stuff that made me go, God, I wish I was younger. I would probably feel more comfortable doing that. You don't give a shit. I need to give less of a shit. I have plenty of jokes and ideas I just don't do. And there's one or two reasons behind it. Dude, it is. It's not like hard to make fun of politics so much as like, okay, I'm gonna make this joke, and then something happens in politics that you go, I was gonna make that as a joke, but now that's a real thing. I can no longer make that joke because they just did it. Like SNL sucks, and it sucked for years. But like it sucks so bad right now. Like I have been seeing some of the sketches come out that are being like reviewed and everything. I was like, hey, this is a good example of this. I'm like, this thing is a horrible, like it may be a good example of the structure, but it's a horrible example of, we need a good example, something that is funny that also shows us joke structure going to classes, right? And my thing is like, SNL produces like 500 sketches a week, and they pick out the best handful of those from there. When's the last Saturday Night Live that the actual full skit was good? Dropout TV is honestly the same way. They have like 2 shows that are carrying them, and that's it. And half the time, I've seen stuff out of context. I've seen the entire video. I'm like, this isn't funny. It was funny when it was College Humor. It's not funny now. Like 90% of the stuff that they're coming out with, I'm just not finding funny. I'm finding people like Josh to be funny. And I have some ideas for a new channel that I want to do because of all the stuff. And I'm trying to work out the logistics of it right now to find out if it's possible. I'm not telling anybody what it is, because if it's not possible, there's no point. We had this conversation. Chris and I had this conversation, and it was like there was a point where like, well, then we just want. Chris was like, well, then we just want to do the video, and I'm like, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with choosing not to do a video because somebody else might have put it out before you and you weren't aware that it was put out before you. whether it be you were working on it or not. The problem is that if you go that mindset, you might as well stop making content, right? But I have the same thing where I don't watch a whole lot of other people. I try to watch more of the content that I'm watching, or I kind of do doom scroll. But I tend to like just go past things. I watch a lot of Reddit story stuff. Technology boom, we've seen it all, yeah. I'll never make because I never want to see someone else who made a similar video idea to had, because then I'll never make my version, even if they're only slightly similar. And that's the problem, is like you'll never make the video. And if you have that mindset of like, oh well, this person did it, so I'm not going to do it, you should probably walk away from it at a certain point. There's a thing that you got to be careful with. There's a line for everyone here. There's a line, and Josh, right, word for word, all the time. But then there's also times where you see somebody's video and you're like, I could have done that so much better, and have an entirely different direction to the video, right? I don't have any problem with that. Somebody sees one of our videos and they want to change the direction in its entirety, right? Well, let's take the video Chris has remade a lot, which is the Death Star denial claim, because it was the video that got him started. It's a video that he really likes. He has a set vision for it. He wants to complete that set vision for him to be happy and no longer need to keep making it, right? There's somebody who made a video longer than his, but for the first like minute, it was almost a word for word of his original video. And then like it went downhill afterwards because they really didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, yeah, because we didn't know what to do with it at the time. And so you don't want to steal somebody else's jokes. 100%. You really don't. But there's also something about like saying that like, oh, well, because somebody else is doing it, I shouldn't do it. That's not the right mindset. If that was the way things were, we wouldn't have all the books that we have. Frankenstein wouldn't exist. Jules Verne's Time Traveler wouldn't exist. H.G. Wells. Every story that Charles Dickens pretty much ever wrote. To bring things up even sooner, if you guys know Garth Nix or Tamara Pierce, none of their books would have existed. There wouldn't be a single isekai after the first one was dropped. Look how many isekai we have. And so you got to take the good with the bad. And Josh, I get that. I get that. Do you? Oh yeah, you said you're in bed trying to relax, so you can't join anyways. But no, I get that too. Like, the reality is that's a perfect example. Those are all the same video done they're all good videos too. They're all done differently. They're all effectively the same story told an entirely different way from an entirely different point. And somebody brought something up that I thought was really cool. The Princess Bride is a perfect movie to remake. Perfect movie to remake. And all you would have to do is recast the two grandpa and son characters, and everyone else, that you would get an entirely different story, because it's more about storytelling than it is the story. And so you could have a Princess Bride remake, and as long as they weren't trying to make the exact same video, but rather emphasize the same points of storytelling, and like, hey, let me tell you the story. Let me tell you a story of love. Let me tell you a story of action. Let me tell you a story about peace. Let me tell you a story of anger. I think it would do well. I agreed with that person 100% on that. And that's a thing that I've had to have a conversation with Chris about, like, the remakes. He wants to remake a lot of our sketches, and I'm like, we shouldn't remake a bunch of our sketches. We don't want to be that channel. It's one thing to go back and be like, and he says to do that even with the large videos, right? The videos that have done really, really well. And we have done this on live about talking about it. And there's a mixture of there. And it's like, if you feel the need to, yes. But the videos that should honestly be remade are the ones that didn't do well. So Josh, right here, you have any of these movies that should be untouchable in terms? Okay, do you have any of these movies should be untouchable in terms of remakes? Robin Williams. Anything that is, and I don't mean like Disney's Aladdin, the Genie stuff, anything like that. No. I mean, Patch Adams should never be remade. I mean, Good Will Hunting should never be remade. What was the movie where he killed himself and went to hell in order to be with his wife? I can't remember that one. None of those movies, Bicentennial Man, should not be remade. I'll be honest, The Mask with Jim Carrey should never be remade, even if you get Jim Carrey to play the role again. We shouldn't even have a Mask 2 with Jim Carrey. Now, does it mean that you shouldn't reimagine the video in its entirety? But if all you do is have an exact copy of, like, oh, it's The Mask Jim Carrey-esque style versus something dark and sinister or even more goofy comedy or something like that, maybe. But like, you have to, there's a difference between remaking a video and you're keeping true to the video as much as possible, the characters and stuff like that. And you are taking inspiration and making your own version. As much as I don't like the Winnie the Pooh horror movies and everything, at least they have taken an entirely different spin on that character and put it out there for it. Yeah, and remaking some of the older ones in animation, but and that's a lot of the things of, like, some of these would work great as animation and not so great as live action. 100% agree with that one. Yeah, and we are remaking some of the early ones. Yeah, they are. I agree with it with the Robin Williams. But they're trying to. The Iron Giant, that's another one. I agree. I would prefer that they didn't remake those, but Ghostbusters turned out good. But they didn't remake it so much. They tried to remake it. Look how well that went. But when they brought Ghostbusters back after that bomb, very horrible movie that they did do, Requel. Yeah, Requel. When they brought it back and they kept the core values, and they're like, hey, this thing happened, this is here, this is where we're at, this other movie didn't happen, and they kept the spirit of it, and it was a true succession, but with new people, a passing of the torch, so to say. It worked really, really well. Now the one after that, the in New York, whatever, wasn't as good, but I still liked it. It was still a fun family movie. Well, Debbie, it's more along the lines of there isn't a need for that movie to be remade. It's not that you can't find actors. Like, as much as I don't want to see him in every fucking thing, there's one actor that I think could play most of Robin Williams' parts really well. Pedro Pascal has that energy to him that he's not quite as good as the comedic take stuff, but like his acting skills, his chops, being able to do comedy and drama and action and everything in between, he could very easily pop into Robin Williams' shoes in those movies and remake those, as long as they weren't like a word for word type of remake. Oh God, yeah, I've tried to rewatch it. It's not that good. It was one of those things where you have videos that are products of their time that like you feel like it would be good, but then you go and sit down and watch it and like, oh my God, I don't really like. But like I've watched those type of videos with my kids and my kids like them. So those are the type of videos that like maybe you watch them the first time and they spark that magic in you. That and you go to watch it again, you don't. The reason you don't like it as much is because that magic isn't there. And that happens a lot, Nuke. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, and I did a video on it. It didn't do well, but I don't think I could redo that video because it was also a video product of its time. There's also I have videos of mine that will never be remade that people want me to remake. Be like, hey, the Lost Child video. Hey, do you want to do a follow up with that? Why don't you remake that one? You did so great in this one. This is such a great video. People watch it to this day. And I have people who rewatch it and they go, "This is a great video. Your acting was here." And here's the thing: I wasn't acting. That took 7 tries. I have the exact number memorized because I could not do an 8th try. I wanted to. For the record, the video that you guys got on the Lost Child video, I was going to redo, but I just physically couldn't. I was crying so bad from everything, I could not redo the video. I saw the Scary Movie thing. I heard about the AI use in it, and Scary Movie was more about punch-up comedy, and this one that I've seen is punch down. And I'm not a huge fan of punch down comedy. Like as a kid, insult comedy was great, and I still do some insult comedy, but I tend to try to punch up with insult, and they are 100% just like it's not good. Matthew Lillard wasn't even completely aware of the AI use in it, so that doesn't. You could not make Kung Fu Hustle in the way that it was made. You would have to do a different version, and I definitely think that they could do another version, and it would do well. But it could not be Kung Fu Hustle. It could not be. It would have to be like a succession type of thing. That's more of a cash grab, keep the IP locked type of thing, though. I would love to do more videos about a lot of these type of things, but a good portion of it is like there are limitations of what me and Chris can do, and he's going to be, when he's full time, he's mentioned that he's probably going to try to get other people to do it, and I'm not gonna lie, there's a bit of concern for me of like I'm not there, and if he starts bringing in a bunch of people to do all these videos, where is my part in this channel at a certain point? Because I can't do the things that his other actors and other friends and everything that he has right there can do. At a certain point, I'm very similar to Josh, where it's collabs, but I'm still a huge part of the channel. So it's a very weird of like, how can we still incorporate everything? And we still have so many ideas that we want to do together. So you can't really do the beans. First of all, as much as I love to rewatch those, if I had never seen them and I watched them in today's environment, I don't think I would have found them as funny as I found them when they originally came out. And some of them aren't that great, to be honest. Some of them are fantastic. Some of them are gold. 18 in the Senate Star Wars. That, I think we've done that. I'm not entirely sure. They can be, yeah. For a tornado. You can't redo anything made by Mel Brooks. I don't know. Kung Fu Hustle. Kung Fu Hustle is one of those I've seen like 3 or 4 times, and it is still just as good as the first time I watched it. And like I'm not busting out laughing as I used to be, but that's because you know everything that's coming. But there's a benefit to watching a movie that you like, that you know the parts to. You know what's really fun about watching a movie that you like and you know what's coming, is watching it with somebody else, watching it with somebody who hasn't seen it, and just at a certain point, you're watching their reaction more than you are watching the movie. It's like, you know what part's coming up, and you're like immediately looking at them going, yeah. Like they have their reaction. When they don't have the reaction, you're like, the fuck's wrong with you? That's a good part of the movie. Why aren't you crying, laughing, feeling ashamed or whatever? Why it doesn't it's resonating with you? And the person goes, well, I don't have childhood trauma. And you go, oh, right. Sorry. Leprechaun versus Chucky. You know, they could make that, by the way. Both those actors are still alive. They could totally remake Chucky. They could totally do a Chucky versus Leprechaun. Never remake a Chris Farley. I don't know that one. Right? This is like, I did not know you. I love the serious thing. I was like, oh, dude, check this out. It's so funny. I don't get it. And just scene change entirely. Like it gets like the lighting changes. I did not know you. I thought we were brothers, but apparently I was wrong. Dude, what the hell? What happened with the lighting? I just don't get the joke. Why don't you explain the joke? If you do not understand it, we cannot be friends. Oh, my husband when we watch Ash versus Evil Dead. Oh my God, no. You have a husband and wife and to get divorced over like the love-hate relationship of the video. Like, this is one of my favorite videos. I don't get it. I want a divorce. It's becoming. I love your brother more. just like the complete boom. Be like, the hell? I just didn't get the movie. I'm a good friend. I always fake a laugh if I have to. Don't fake a laugh. Don't. Oh God, I hate fake laughs, and I can tell them. At a certain point, you're like, there's a difference. Like, you don't really know each other, and you're like, and like you get that side eye of like, that laugh doesn't feel real. And the reason why is because periodically you'll hear the real laugh, and you'll be like, are you fake laughing or are you real laughing? Which one's your real? Because I'm watching you now. Lilo and Stitch should not have had a live action. More so from somebody who didn't even watch the original. Like, who let that guy? Like, he barely had any experience and was like, "Hey, here's a major IP you should make." Fucking, they made money. No one can ever tell. The depression is real, huh? Watch out, people. I might do call-outs. If your fake laugh is so damn good that people can't tell, how depressed are you? Those are videos that need to be made too. I'm pretty sure people have made videos like that though, and I'm probably remembering some version of it. Vine made so many things, and then early TikTok was the same way. Like one minute anime stuff back and forth was either that or you're a politician. No, this is the reason why I'm live right now. I'll probably call it at the hour marker though, guys. I should really, it's 12:21. I should probably relax, and we've got a dinner stream to do tomorrow. I have zero idea what I want to. I can't do another Ben 10 video, and a Ben 10 live action. I saw bits and pieces of it, and I was like, it reminded me of the Artemis Fowl live action, where there are some things you have to accept that have moved on past you. A lot of us don't want to accept that, especially millennials. We don't want to accept the fact that our life is we accept that we're getting old and things are changing, but we don't want to accept, and this is partly because Hollywood has kept shoving the IPs down our throats, that we have grown past the things. Like I don't need to watch, and this might be why our channel isn't popping as much as it needs to right now. It's called superhero fatigue, and we do hero and villain content. I guarantee you we're going to have a moment where superhero movie, and it's currently happening now. So it wouldn't be so strange as to why our channel is starting to do really well on like Facebook and starting to come back on YouTube. But superhero fatigue is a thing. And so they're coming out with less and less of these movies. If you guys have noticed, like they have a bunch of them, but at the same time, they cancel a bunch. And what's happening is they're announcing them. They'll see which one has got the most hype around it that people want to see. And that's when they start the process of it. They like, hey, we're going to do all these movies. Oh, you guys aren't excited about these 3 movies. We're not going to do these 3 movies. They've been canceled and we're just going to use them as a write-off. We're actually going to put out this movie though. It may not be good, but it will satisfy that itch that you have for a little bit longer until we make a movie that has our heart and soul in it again. But it's really a nostalgia bait, but you just didn't realize it. Yeah. Superhero fatigue is the thing. The live action Iron Giant would we have the technology. It can be done. Really fluent in sarcasm. Oh God, yeah. There's plenty of movies that you just culturally could not do ever again. The perfect example is Tropic Thunder. You could not do Tropic Thunder in today's society at all. And that reminds me of Scream 7 right now. Like the newest Scream movie is effectively trying to do Tropic Thunder in today's environment. There's a lot of people who are super excited that are on Facebook about it. And I was reading the comments and there are a bunch of people who were like arguing. I was like, no, this is horrible. This is bad. And I agree. Like the jokes are it was just bad. It just wasn't a good timing. Like you could do that joke, but in the context of what was happening, it was just like, this isn't TikTok. This is a multi-million-dollar studio producing a video with actors and everything. I guess not now. I guess it technically is. And it feels like a TikTok sketch. Not even a sketch, a skit. And I was like, because the trailer I saw, he pulled off the Megan mask after doing the dance and then stabbed them. And then, oh my God, she stabbed her. And it was like, excuse me, my pronouns are they, them. Oh my God, they stabbed them. And I'm like, it's not that I'm offended at that. It's just a bad time joke. It's not a great, what would have been funny? Same concept of joke. Same thing happens. She dies. Sorry, they die. They die. 100% dead. Oh no, they killed her. Comes back to life as a ghost. Excuse me, my pronouns are they, them. That would have been fucking hilarious. Try not to wake people up. Hopefully I didn't wake somebody up. Hopefully I don't have somebody walking in and getting angry at me. That would have been hilarious. To me, at least. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way. What? My mouse. I need a different mouse. My mouse is giving me trouble. It has not been officially produced or released, but they are teasing a fan fiction possible one. In which the roles would be reversed. Okay, I can see that. I can see that working. Where the roles are reversed for a lot of the characters. That would work. Because that would change it out. You take care as well. Internet boycott. Yeah, it's already happening. Like the moment people found out about the AI stuff, people aren't going to see it. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's just the Megan thing was fine. It was a parody. I was like, okay, whatever. Not laugh out funny and like whatever. Not didn't really make me laugh. Getting stabbed and having the overreaction, not a big deal. But while in the act of getting stabbed, doing that joke, which really wasn't that great of a joke in that manner, was like, eh. And I feel like doing the joke after they died and coming back, the gag here is that the offense was so bad that they came back to life. That's less punch down and more like, excuse me, just because I'm dead, don't do this. That's an awesome joke. That is a joke that's been used. You're heading home. Well, drive safe or travel safe. Yeah, I think that's another thing a lot of people have said. Robert Downey Jr. was like the only one that could really have pulled that off. That long movie wasn't that great. We're discussing movies in general. Josh, here's the thing. They're not making a lot of money. They were making a lot of money. They're making money on like TikTok and stuff now, but like on YouTube, it's gone down. Instagram, it's gone down. And the reason why is because, and this is funny, the corporations aren't, for everyone here, YouTube, Instagram are the current ones that are really fighting back. Facebook is starting to, and TikTok is starting to, against the whole AI slop stuff. And the reason isn't because, oh, well, AI slop is bad or whatever. No, it's because they don't get paid for the AI bots who are watching the AI slop. Because people aren't watching it long enough. They see a few seconds and they're like, okay, scroll. They're not. And the people who, quote unquote, people who stay, quotations, are like AI bots. Instagram released a statement like they got to a point to where there were more AI watching it than it was people. And Instagram was like, we have to nip this in the bud. And YouTube had already noticed that. And they had a bunch of backlash from creators like, look, if you don't take care of this, we're just not going to be here. Why would we post here? This isn't a thing that's going to keep happening. So is there channels that still use a tremendous amount of AI? Absolutely. And YouTube is doing awesome by revolting against it and updating its policies and stuff. YouTube did the thing that no other one has done yet, which is if you make AI content, you're not eligible for monetization. You're no longer eligible. There have been, and Josh, if you go to Reddit, if you really want some therapeutic stuff, go to Reddit and see how many people are bitching that their AI channel was removed, that all their videos are demonetized, that they're no longer making any money. Just the amount of people going in there, well, you made AI slop. No one feels sorry for you. The people who actually put work into their channels are the people we want to support. I don't try to. It's more along the lines of when I look something up and I see a Reddit story, I'm like, oh, what's this? All right, is this what's? Oh, hello, that is cool. There's so much bitching, and like if you try to be like, look, guys, the way this thing works, they're like, well, who are you? Oh, you only have this. You don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, I'm just gonna delete my stuff. I'm not gonna talk to people. I'm not gonna try to like get people to understand. The worst part about being a smaller creator, but knowing the system and the system just isn't working for you because, you know, my accounts got Thanos at one point, is even though I'm part of a larger channel and I know the patterns, I know how to do things, and we don't do things constantly, there's a lot of people who just don't listen to you. It's like, oh, well, what you say doesn't really matter because you're not making millions of views and millions of things. I'm like, yeah, but my watch time is like 90%. My average watch point is between 80 and 90 for videos. And that includes like 8-minute long videos. If you can make a 10-minute long video and you're not being watched because people like you as a person, but rather they like the video, like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, I'm using big name, PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, all of them have had a problem where some of their fans are only watching them because it's them. And they discussed, and this was a couple of years ago, they discussed, they saw their analytics drop because these people still have a shorter attention span. They don't want to sit there for the whole video, so they'll put it in the background. But YouTube doesn't pay if you're not being active, if you're not moving the mouse around and interacting with the thing. So they saw a drop, and it's like, we need people to be active. We need people to be actively watching us, unless it's like a live stream or something. So it's a little bit funky. You got to be careful about it. Right? Yeah. Yeah. The generation. I was part of that generation. I am like older than you. I'm almost 40. So, God, the cartoons on Saturday were banging though, man. They were awesome. No, that one too. I'm not a part of that one. But like that right there. You could do a video on that, Josh, if you haven't. You can do the attention span by generation or something like that, and you show somebody like you do the whole gag of like, man, my generation, and then it shows their generation. You know, you start out with like a Gen Z, they can't focus and everything. You know, my generation, we had to do such and such, and then it shows them as a kid, and then it shows their dad. You know, my generation, we got this and this. It shows them as a kid. You know, my generation. I've seen sketches like that, but I really like them. I especially like when creators like Josh here does their own spin on it. Because Josh, here's the thing that I really would love. Oh, you already did. Never mind. I gotta find it now. Everyone go find that video. If Josh makes a trend video, he has a very particular style. So like you have the pop up, very animated, you know? And this is not making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. I very much like that style, especially because like you going into horror with that kid-esque YouTube kids type of feel. It feels like you're watching Blue's Clues characters, right? But it goes into this deep, dark dive of horror and everything. And it's like, oh, you can tell when I started following you, that was my content. I was like, because when I first saw you pop up, I'm like, I don't really feel like watching this type of content. And then like you went straight to horror. I'm like, I like this guy. Every generation is spoiled. Yeah. They haven't. They have changed the way we tell stories for sure. But at the same time, we told short stories for decades and decades and generations and generations. It was just different. Too long didn't read has become a video format is all that has happened. Vengeance. By the way, I've got sleeping people, so I can't be too loud. Yeah, no, a lot of people did. Overreact on purpose for comedic purposes. And see, I very much like playing the, like you've seen the character I play. I hope that you've seen me like, I'm animated in a different way. I'm the kind of guy. I'm the more adult. I'm like the adult cartoon-esque type of character that walks inside of that goofy area and goes, all right. It just goes with it. Or like Muppets would be probably a better example. The live action Muppet stuff, like the Treasure Island, like the people acting goofy in Treasure Island, but they're still acting like people. Like they're not a cartoon, they're not a Muppet, they're acting goofy, and it just works. I like that style of acting. I don't nail it completely, but I feel like I get it quite enough. I hate to tell you this. The Muppets were the brain rot of our generation, and I'm going to tell you one single line that's going to bring that to focus. The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Here's another crab battle. Crab battle. You cannot tell me we didn't have brain rot. We fully had brain rot. You can't be like, well, our brain rot was different. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was just as bad. I am so sorry. I hand him here.
Your generation was not the only generation that grew up on Muppets.
I know my generation wasn't the only one that grew up. And some we're saying that like they were saying like your generation grew up on slop, on brain rot. Our generation grew on Muppets. Our generation did create Vines. We are guilty of that.
Your generation effectively started heavy brain rot.
Yeah.
Who the?
Give me the bitchy cat so I can show him off on the stream before I wind down the stream. Oh my God, yes. Perfect description of your character. It's nothing to do with Muppets. It's very similar. Yes, I'm going to be ending the stream. Come now.
I was just asking. He's bitching because he wants downstairs.
Yeah, well, he doesn't get to go downstairs. You can't see, but his legs. He's just getting comfortable. Millennial brain rot. Badger. Mushroom. Flawless badger. Yeah, it existed just on a bigger filter. But the internet had, I get that had another, it kind of did. Well, Sesame Street. Head Stutter just did a fast catch up. Did somebody else wake up? Yeah. You done? But this has been fun. This has just been a random conversation. But I am in the kitchen. People are trying to sleep. I do need to end it, and everyone else here needs to get some sleep too. Try not to doom scroll too much. Don't melt your brains outside of your ears scrolling on TikTok. Did you know that you can make like fake edible slime that like just kind of, it's like fake blood? You thin it out a little bit. I made some for a movie, and it got in my ear and it just kind of drained down. And I was like, oh, it kind of looks like your brain leaking. That's a random thought for people who like making horror content. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Dude, are you okay? Uh-huh. Dude, I think your brain is melting. Dude. Attack of the Gen Z. No, attack of the brain rot. Oh, attack of the brain rot. Oh, I give permission. Somebody do something with that. Anyways, I love you all. I wish you all peace of mind, serenity, and abiding spirit, and harmony among others. Remember to take it one breath, one step, one day at a time. And until the winds blow your sails our way again, have an Acme Day, which will be, by the way, later tonight. I will do the dinner stream, more than likely. Have an Acme Day as part of Have an Acme Day where Retro Acme builds your account. Have an Acme Day. And have an Acme Day simply means have the best day you possibly can have. Bye now.